Hi, Catherine. So you're my test person as your author. So this is the second part. I've linked in the email the first part, which is on YouTube. Nobody's heard this, but I know that you'll understand. I'll try and be a big girl, put my big girl pants on and not cry, but I'm not guaranteeing anything, okay? So this is Inky. I was warm, snuggled up against my dam, when the shed door was opened and me and my litter mates ran into the sunshine. "Oh, you two-legged things!" "People," my dam said. I was just only over 6 weeks old, and my dam was very gentle, never growling when we suckled or played. The female was small, the male weak. I had no interest in him. With them was a young bitch who looked me right in the eyes. "No hurting her," she said. I didn't know this bitch, but she was calm and balanced. The female sat on the grass where we usually played and waited. I sniffed the air. The little female smelt a little sick, but her energy was strong. I was a brave pup, so trotted over and laid down alongside her leg. She ran her hand along my shoulders and back and made noises I didn't understand. The bitch with the small female said these noises were to be listened to. I liked this little female with strong but kind energy. I watched paper being given to my dam's owner, and the small female gently picked me up and took me over to the young bitch. Why was she so odd with me, I thought, but knew she wouldn't hurt me. I wagged my tail and held my head low as I was thoroughly sniffed. I liked it when the small female touched me. I knew I could trust her. The other bitch jumped up beside the female and laid down, so I thought best to do the same. After all, we border collies are very clever. The young bitch said, "I am called Sally, and I was first here." I didn't understand here. What was here? "It's a car," Sally said. "You may want to empty your tummy as we move, as it's an odd thing, but you'll get used to it." It was noisy, but I felt safe, and I laid next to the female. It was a long way and new to me, but Sally was calm, so I didn't worry. The small female touched me many times, and she said, "Inky, you will be called Inky." Oh, I understood as I watched the female touch Sally and say Sally many, many times. "Inky is your name, pup," Sally said. "Of course, we dogs can learn lots very quickly by small movements and changes in energy." I wanted to ask Sally what I had done to upset her. She was not angry, but something I didn't know or understand. Sally was right, I was hungry, and I needed to pee. The little female looked at Sally and made many noises to the weak male. I already didn't like him. The metal box stopped, and the little female let Sally out, and she peed, but I was unsure, so didn't go. We set off again, and Sally explained much to me, much of which I didn't understand, but she was kind. I snuggled into the female's leg and slept. We pups learn much when young, and Sally showed me how to be a good pup. She was always gentle, and I often stalked her, and she would allow my puppy behaviour, much as my dam had. Sally explained in the ways dogs do that I must always listen to the small female known as Mum, but I didn't like the male. He made Mum very, very sad. We dogs know little of sadness. We know fear, hunger, cold, and pure joy. Humans have overly complex lives, you know. Sally I thought of like Auntie Sally, so that is what I called her. Much later on in life, Mum did too. Sally was wise, but why so, well, kind of off with Mum. She wouldn't tell me. "It's between us," she told me. Mum took me straight into the garden when I first reached our den. Large kennel, Auntie Sally called it. Mum picked me up and we went inside the kennel. I thought it bigger than the shed I was born in. Mum gave me food and gently picked me up and took me to the garden. Auntie Sally explained it by example of peeing, so I did too, and Mum's energy shone. Good, good girl, good pee-pee. I was confused. I had to pee, but Mum's energy shone, so she must approve. When darkness came and I would normally go back to the shed, Mum laid down on a long soft thing in the big space in the den and put a large soft pad close by her. I was sleepy, so went and tested it. I slept. I woke badly needing to pee and poop, so I started walking around sniffing. The bell on the thing round my neck made a noise, and Mum woke up right away and scooped me up, and along with Auntie Zelly, we went to the garden. Auntie Zelly peed, so I did too, but I was full. Mum was in no rush and walked round the garden as if waiting. I had to go, so I did. Oh, how brightly Mum's energy shone. I had done good. Mum told me so. Good, clever girl. She scooped me up and nuzzled her cheek against mine. And made an odd sound on top of my head with her mouth. Mum was happy. Daylight came and we dogs were taken out to the garden by Mum again and then fed. Auntie Zelly ate less often than me, but her size and age were greater, for now. The tall male took Auntie Zelly out the den and Mum started teaching me how to learn. I got snacks but wasn't greedy about them like Auntie Zelly. I am unsure why we're all separated, but I got Mum alone time and she taught me so much. Yet Zelly looked on but didn't join in. I still didn't understand. I knew it involved me, but not why. Later I learnt why. Silly Auntie Zelly. Many sleeps later, during training, Auntie Zelly got off the chair where she laid and went to Mum and raised up on her back legs and put front paws on Mum's hip, and they locked eyes. Mum said, "You over yourself now then. Of course you can join in." So began my training with Mum alongside Auntie Zelly, and Mum shone brightly with joy. So began a daily routine of play, training and exploring. Just prior to this, I had to see the dog doctors, a vet. Yes, that's what people call them. I had jabs in my neck skin. I felt unwell and did not want to eat. Auntie Zelly explained I must eat, but I couldn't as I was not well. Mum's energy was dark with concern and she stopped sleeping and watched over me. Even Auntie Zelly seemed worried. I was becoming weaker and weaker. "Let me try something," Mum said to Auntie Zelly. I watched as Mum got a large box of sweet-smelling stuff out. It was small round shapes. Slowly Mum rolled them one across the floor. Oh, I wanted to chase it as all collies do. I got up as Mum rolled another one near me. I grabbed it with my mouth, and it was sweet. Mum kept rolling those little round things, and I ate them. And Mum told me, "Good girl." I suddenly realised I was very hungry, and Mum gave me a small amount of food, which I ate. Mum's worry lessened. "Be strong, pup. She needs us. We have much to do," Auntie Zelly said. "She just saved your life, pup." I grew stronger again, and Mum was happy, spending all her time with us. Now, I was very different to Auntie Zelly. I liked to run straight up steep slopes and slide down. I loved doing that, with leaves flying all around me. Mum noticed I liked this and took me to a place where really small people played. Now I trusted Mum, and she walked me up some step things and took me to a bright shining slope. "Go on, Inky, try. You'll love it," she smiled without showing teeth. "You humans show teeth much too often, you know." I did try, and on all four paws I slid down very fast. Mum said it was a slide, and I loved the feeling. I ran straight back up again. I looked at Mum and wagged my tail. Auntie Zelly looked disgusted, but I didn't care. I was full of joy. Mum's ill smell had all but gone, but the male I did not like one tiny bit. Life was good. I played with Auntie Zelly when Mum wasn't training us together. Auntie Zelly really watched over me and Mum. Yet each day the tall male's energy grew darker. He disliked that Mum was happy and full of joy when with we dogs. I also know Mum would never let him hurt us. but he did hurt her in a way only dogs know to be wrong. Oh, I wanted to bite him, but was still not quite 1 year old. I think Mum was great with us dogs, but made bad choices about other people. Auntie Sally agreed, and we set about making a plan. But before we could start, we went on a long drive. Uh-oh, Auntie Sally said. We're on another long drive, and the last time you came back. What did Auntie Sally mean, I thought. At the end of the long drive, I was back looking at my dam and her litter. Mum did not sit and wait like with me. She picked up the only pup with colours like mine. See, Auntie Sally said, this is your sister. I was pleased to see my dam and sniff the pup. She was very different in energy to Auntie Sally and me. Her eyes were both pale blue like the winter's sky. This one will be trouble, Auntie Sally said. My sister was even younger than I was, but was eating solid food. She suckled off our dam, and we all went back in the car. Now, Mum struggled to name this pup, but eventually the pup's name was YY. Sorry for the sniffing and snuffling, Catherine, but you know how that is. And I hope that you understand that there are others out here that can sense and feel a dog's energy and link into their conscious spirit. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. And I will get round to writing about why, but it's so hard, as you know. So I've got Zed down here with me. Hold on, where is she? There she is. Always being supportive, aren't you? Yes, my beautiful girl. Yes. Do the best you can, my dear Catherine, okay? We're always here if you need any video doing that to help the cause. I can always unlist it and put it down on YouTube as unlisted and send you the link, because I'm not on Facebook. Please do the best you can. I know you have Rob, and I know you have your wonderful family of dogs, and they'll get you through it. They really will. Much love.